If you aren't rich yet, my guess is you are buying some of these 7 things we're going to talk about today, and you must stop buying them in order to get rich. Now, this one is going to hurt and it may upset some of you, but you come here for the truth, and that is what you are going to get today. Because I believe everybody can retire early and have financial freedom and become a millionaire. So make sure you're subscribed, because they don't want you to know any of this. They want to keep you in the lie, and they want to keep you completely away from the truth, which is what this channel is all about. They want you working forever. I want you completely free from this mess. So the first thing you must stop buying to get rich is the latest tech. Look, I understand that technology is absolutely wonderful. It is great, and it's here to stay. I understand that you also need some of it. But I routinely see people that have the latest iPhone, have the latest watch, have the latest MacBook Pro or MacBook whatever, and the latest iPad, and the latest everything else that you can buy, when the reality is they don't use hardly any of them, or they have a lot more computing power and a lot more than what they actually need in order to achieve their work. Basically, they have a MacBook Pro, but they're just checking email and cruising the internet, which you can do with a Chromebook for 1/6 of the price or so. Same thing with the Apple Watch and a lot of other things like that. I'm always shocked. People tell me, hey, I'm doing it because I'm checking my health. And I'm like, well, you don't really look like you work out or you eat healthy or do anything else. So what's kind of the point in having that watch? Sure, it's nice to be able to look at your watch in order to answer a phone call or see a text message that comes through, but it's just an extension of your phone, and all you gotta do is just reach in your pocket and pull out your phone. So it's much more convenience than everything else. Now, I understand some folks are super into fitness, or maybe you're a pro athlete, or maybe you need that MacBook Pro as part of your work. Maybe you're a video editor or something of that nature and you need that. But the vast majority of people own a lot of tech and a lot of neat gadgets that they just don't need in their regular everyday lives. They just want it. The way they create something new every year to where you gotta have the new latest tech and the latest gear, you're never going to become rich because you're constantly chasing the latest tech. The second thing you must stop buying is new cars. Look, I know they're great. The new car smell, there's honestly nothing better than that. I don't know what else to say. Everybody that gets inside of a new car loves that smell. I don't know what it is, but it must be science of some sort, because it triggers in your brain, I want this car. But you know, when you drive off that lot, you immediately depreciate that car a lot, and over the course of 2 or 3 years, the vehicle at that stage is basically worth half of what it was whenever you bought it. Now, you don't have to be as cheap as me and just look for the best, $6,000, $8,000 used car. But buying a new vehicle is a huge wealth destroyer where you think you're actually going places. And I know a lot of people have that feeling that they're going places because they got the newest, Lexus or Mercedes or whatever. But the reality is actually the exact opposite. You are moving further away from becoming wealthy. The next thing you must stop buying is gifts for your kids. Hate to tell you, but kids honestly don't care nearly as much about the gifts as the parents do in a lot of cases. I'm always amazed to watch parents stress out, freak out, buy $500 or $1,000 worth of gifts for the kids for their birthday, and the kid ends up going outside and playing with a ball that they already had, or with the cheapest gift that somebody gave them out of the entire group, and not even caring about any of the expensive gifts that the parents bought. But when you set that up when your children are young, guess what they're going to expect when they're older? They're going to expect bigger, more extravagant gifts, and you're just setting yourself up to never get rich because of gifts that you're giving your children. And I notice a lot of folks that fall into that trap, they stay in that trap even after their kids have already left the house, or maybe their kids come back and live with them in their house. Who knows? But it's all coming from the same place, and it's completely preventing you from actually becoming rich. The next thing you need to stop buying is designer clothing. I understand that a lot of times, you need, nice clothes for work. Obviously, and how you present yourself is very, very important. However, there's absolutely zero need to have a $1,000 handbag. There is zero need for a $200 t-shirt out there, guys. I'm sorry. There is zero need for a shoe with a red bottom instead of the one that looks exactly the same with a black bottom, that probably coming from the same exact factory, just they slap a red bottom on the bottom of one and a black bottom on the bottom of the other one. Just like everything else, you are probably the person that cares the most about that, and nobody else really cares all that much about it, but you feel like you're impressing all those people, so you continue to do it. I'm not saying buy cheap quality or no quality, but a high quality dress shirt is a far better deal than a designer dress shirt that honestly isn't even as good as the quality dress shirt to begin with, but because it's got a name on it, you end up paying double the price or more for that designer item. Number 5 would be impulse buys. These are almost the biggest killer on the list, is whenever you don't think a purchase through and you just buy it on impulse. I couldn't tell you how many folks I know have a garage full of junk that they've never really used and never really touched, because they impulse bought it. They bought it in the moment, they saw the commercial, marketing is very powerful, and they went on ahead and they made the buy instead of controlling that impulse. And over the course of time, you give away thousands upon thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars of your money that you could have invested that went to impulse purchases instead. Use the 1 week rule, where you basically don't buy anything unless you wait a week in order for you to get it. Now, we're not talking about groceries, but any sort of other item, you wait a week before you buy it to make sure you want it, to make sure it's not impulsive, and to make sure you think through the purchase, you've looked for the best price and everything else before you actually buy it. The next thing you have to stop buying would be a house. Now look, I know I kick up controversy every single time I say that, but the biggest wealth drain on a lot of people is because they buy too much house and they don't view their house as an asset to bring in income. They strictly view it as something that they want to live in, which is great, and I understand that, but then they spend a lot of money on a lot of things like a pool that don't necessarily improve the value of your house. Now, of course, in certain areas of the country, I understand it does, and it's almost mandatory to have a pool, but that's not the case in the vast majority of the country here in the US, but yet people put in pools all the time. Sure, some people buy a home, keep it for 30 years, and it happened to be in the right area at the right time, and it actually makes them rich. But for the vast majority of people, the term house poor is around for a reason, and that's the category a lot of people fall into, and it's preventing you from building wealth. And the last thing you need to stop buying is speculative investment. At least here in the US, we have got to get rid of the get rich quick mentality, the lottery mentality when it comes to investing. People want to get rich tomorrow, not 10 years from now. Even if you could reach back to yourself 10 years ago and say, hey, let me do this the slow way and I could be wealthy today, everybody still chooses the, yeah, but I really want to jump on those penny stock thing. That stock market's hot right now. It's 2021 and everybody's in stocks and everybody's 10x in their money. I want to jump in that. I want to 10x too. And then it jumped to, poop tokens and Bitcoin and all this other stuff like that people got involved with without having any idea what they were actually doing because they were purely speculating. If you are constantly speculating with your money, you may have some big wins, but you will eventually have a big loss that prevents you from getting rich. Focus on investing in solid investments and learning how to invest solidly to reduce your risk and increase your chances of getting rich. And the good news is, this channel is all about alternate routes to retirement, to getting rich, to financial freedom. They want you working forever. I want you to be completely free to do whatever the heck you want. So make sure you're subscribed so you get this information, because they don't want you to know about it. They think it's blacklisted, and I want you to be free. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.